A confession letter from the man acquitted of killing his stepbrother, Trey Zwicker, 8 years ago, says he did commit the murder and acted alone. Now we're hearing from Zwicker's father. Dennis Ting spoke with him today. Dennis, what did he have to say?
Well, Josh Young's father, Josh Gowker, was sentenced to life in prison for killing Zwicker after telling the jury he was the only person responsible. But Zwicker's father, who says he still doesn't believe either of them are entirely innocent, spoke with us today about that.
This time it actually made me mad.
For 8 years, Terry Zwicker has heard many different stories about how his son, Trey Zwicker, was killed.
Trey was my world. Trey touched so many. Trey was willing to help everybody.
Trey Zwicker's body was found beaten to death behind Liberty High School in May of 2011. 2 years later, Josh Gowker pled guilty to murdering his 14-year-old stepson, claiming he acted alone. 3 months later, Josh Young, Trey's stepbrother, was found not guilty of murder. A year later, Gowker, who was serving a life sentence, said he pleaded guilty to spare his son.
They will never know how many lives they actually destroyed.
I want to know the truth. But at the end of the day, the truth is Trey lost his life.
In a 4-page confession letter, Young, who's serving a sentence for illegally owning a gun, admitted to the murder, writing in part he did it alone and that it was not planned. He also admits that his father lied to keep him out of jail. But Terry Zwicker says he's not convinced.
Until they say what they actually did and their plan, we all know, then I guess really I'm just never going to be satisfied.
In his letter, Young says he's also interested in selling the rights to his story or working on a biography, but writes he wants to, quote, clear up any and all misunderstandings and claim full responsibility for my actions.
Young and Gowker, they did what they did. And sure, they're notorious, they're famous, but everybody's not thinking about their names. They're thinking about Trey.
And now, because Young has already been acquitted by a jury on the murder charge, he cannot be tried again for Zwicker's murder since it falls under double jeopardy. But prosecutors could also look for another way to charge him, for example, with perjury. Dennis Ting, WHAS 11 News.